we kill the Batman.
As you think of Joker, you can't forget about the protagonist, Batman, a superhero without superpowers who uses his intellect, detective skills, science and technology, and physical bravery in his war on crime.
I'm Batman.
I mean, that's why he's our favorite. Anyone can be a superhero with superpowers. So welcome back to Evo Chronicles, where we showcase the evolution of movies, video games, and characters. And in this video, we're going back to Batman's debut. And for that, we have to go back to 1939. Batman, a very old and well-known superhero along with Superman. Batman is the nickname of Bruce Wayne, a wealthy American playboy, humanitarian, and industrialist who resides in Gotham City. Batman showed his appearance for the first time through Detective Comic number 27 in May 1939. Batman was created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Batman got introduced to the story that he witnessed his parents' death when he was a small, grief-stricken boy, who dedicated his existence to retaliating against his parents' murders by spending the rest of his life warring on all criminals. After years of training his mind and body to perfection, Bruce Wayne inherited his father's millions and pondered over a crime-fighting costume that would terrorize criminals. In his earliest adventure, Batman was an immediate sensation. He was also quite brutal. He tossed a thug off of a rooftop and proceeded to kill a vampire by shooting him with a silver bullet. As Batman's praise swelled, the character's publisher retreated, fearful that the adverse elements of the comic book would be followed by its young audience. DC eliminated Batman's use of firearms and extreme force so that the young readers will not get any wrong intent. Later on, in April 1940, DC introduced a young sidekick with him, which was a circus aerialist who was trained by him and led him to become Robin. DC also introduced two villains in Batman #1 who would become essential components of the character's history, the Joker and Catwoman. Batman and Robin were soon challenged by growing odd antagonists. The Scarecrow, Penguin, and Riddler were just some of the criminals who repeatedly took on the dynamic duo. Yes, later Batman and Robin got named the title Dynamic Duo. In 1942, the writers and artists behind the comic established most of the basic elements of the Batman theme. In the years of World War II, DC Comics adopted a post-war editorial direction that increasingly spotlighted social explanations in favor of cheerful young fantasy. The impact of this editorial approach was visible in the Batman comics of the post-war period, removed from the harsh and threatening world of the strips of the early 1940s. Batman was instead portrayed as a respectable citizen and parental figure that dwelled in a bright and colorful environment. Later on, in October 1943, a 15-part Batman series was released, starring Lewis Wilson, the first actor to portray Batman on screen. In 1949, a second movie, Batman and Robin, starring Robert Lowry, was released. The appearance provided by these modifications during the 1940s helped make Batman a household name for millions who never bought the comic book. After the 1943 release, again in January 1966, the Batman TV series starring Adam West appeared on the ABC television network. The series ran up to 120 episodes, ending in 1968. In between the first and second season of the Batman TV series in 1966, they released a film titled Batman the Movie. From 1968 to 1977, the Batman TV series was also produced in the first animated evolution of Batman in the Batman-Superman Hour. The Batman segments of the series were rearranged as The Adventures of Batman and Batman with Robin, the Boy Wonder, which produced 33 episodes. From 1973 until 1986, Batman had a starring role in ABC's Super Friends series, animated by Hanna-Barbera. The voice of Batman in all these shows was Olan Soule, but ultimately replaced by Adam West during Super Friends. Adam also voiced the character in the series The New Adventures of Batman, which was released in 1977. In 1992, Batman, the animated series featuring Kevin Conroy as the voice of Batman, premiered on the television network produced by Warner Brothers. The series received significant praise for its darker tone, stylistic design, and thematic complexity compared to previous superhero cartoons. As the series succeeded, later on in 1993, the film Batman: Mask of the Phantasm was released along with various TV series that included The New Batman Adventures, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited. Earlier in 1989, when Warner Brothers released the film Batman, starring Michael Keaton as the character, The film was a huge success. At the time, the film was the 5th highest grossing film in history. The film also won the Academy Award for Best Art Direction Award. The film's success introduced 3 more sequels: Batman Returns, which was released in 1992, Batman Forever, released in 1995, and Batman and Robin, released in 1997, the 2 of which were directed by Joel Schumacher instead of Burton, and replaced Keaton with Val Kilmer and George Clooney as Batman, respectively. Later on, in 2005, Batman Begins was released, starring Christian Bale as Batman, directed by Warner Bros. As a reboot of the film series, which was directed by Christopher Nolan. Later on, in 2008, The Dark Knight was released, which set the record for the highest grossing opening weekend of all time in the United States and earned approximately $158 million. The Dark Knight also won 2 Academy Awards, including Best Supporting Actor for the late Heath Ledger, who played the role of Joker in the film. As the conclusion of Nolan's series later on in 2012, The Dark Knight Rises was released, which eventually followed The Dark Knight. Since 2008, Batman has also starred in various animated films starring Kevin Conroy, who did the voice role of Batman for several of these films. In 2014, a Lego-themed version of Batman was also featured as one of the protagonists in the animated film The Lego Movie, starring Will Arnett, who did the voiceover. In 2016, with the release of Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, Ben Affleck began portraying Batman, directed by Zack Snyder. Following the same year, Affleck also made a cameo appearance as Batman in David Ayer's film Suicide Squad. In 2017, when the Lego Batman movie was released, Arnett also replicated the voice role for the film, and for the sequel, The Lego Movie 2, the second part, which was out in 2019. The film curiously depicts Batman's wedding to an original character. Before we continue to the last movie in the Batman franchise, make sure to like the video and subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you'll stay notified with every single upload and support the channel while you're at it. So, let us continue with Batman's recent appearances in movies. In August 2019, it was announced that Kevin Conroy would make his television debut as an older Bruce Wayne in the upcoming Crisis on Infinite Earths Arrowverse. In the crossover, he portrayed a parallel universe iteration of Batman from Earth 99, who appeared for the first time in Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2. In May 2021, it was announced that a new animated series titled Batman Caped Crusader was in development by Bruce Timm, J.J. Abrams, and Matt Reeves. The series is said to be a reimagining of the Caped Crusader that returns the characters to their roots. In 2019, Robert Pattinson was cast to play the role of Batman for an upcoming reboot of the franchise, The Batman, which is claimed to be releasing in 2022. So we can hope to get one more Batman movie.
Well, here I am.
So that's all for today's video. Feel free to tell us in the comments section below, what do you think about the upcoming movie about Batman? And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to Evo Chronicles, and hit that notification bell so you can always be notified by our regular uploads.